Let's cover the blueprint for lead generation. Using Facebook to drive leads is one of the most popular ways to monetize attention in digital marketing. Let's cover the 3 most important things that you need to know in running these ads. And I'll give you my advice and my experience from having run well over $100 million of lead gen and being one of the very first people to ever use the lead gen ad unit on Facebook ever. The first thing we have to cover is the lead generation ad versus a lead generation form on a landing page. Facebook has become tremendously popular and powerful because it allows somebody to fill out the lead form with only a few clicks in seconds by using that Facebook already has on them. We can use a conversion campaign to drive to a landing page with a lead form. The advantage of the landing page lead form option is that we can heavily customize the information that we're asking for. And it presents opportunities to continue that customer journey in many other ways because we have a click and a user on our site. So it's not just that somebody engaged with a Facebook ad. The last thing we have to get into before we dive a lot deeper is that the majority of Facebook users in first world countries have never engaged with a Facebook lead gen ad. When was the last time you did? The ability to autofill any user's information was a huge advantage when it was introduced nearly a decade ago. But today, our devices do this for us on basically every web page. The lead gen ad unit's unfair advantage on Facebook of filling out all that info has been eliminated by our browsers and our devices. And lastly, because most users have never engaged with the lead gen ad unit and probably never will, when we rely on them, we're excluding the majority of the users in our available market from ever seeing our ad. Qualification and pixel events. When we are using a sales funnel of a lead, we have to understand the quality of each lead from each ad that we're running. When we use dynamic creatives, we need to understand what concepts deliver the highest quality leads into our funnel. We should never rely purely on the cost of a lead. Anybody can get you really cheap leads, and they're almost guaranteed to be really, really bad. We also can't rely on the conversion rate of leads to be any valuable source of truth. Ideally, using only the information put into the lead form, we should be able to understand whether a lead is good or bad or excellent. We can also pass back custom conversion events to Facebook built off of the lead form data. We can use this to identify the qualification of a lead once it's submitted that form and ultimately classify its value. Then we simply just optimize our Facebook campaigns to the best match grouping of value and volume and cost of those conversion events. The quality of a lead has a direct impact on the monetary value of that lead, as well as our prioritization of that lead by our business operations team. We can even pass back a completed sale or the onboarding of a client to Facebook to then validate a conversion rate and a cost value analysis of all of those leads. At the end of the day, a really bad lead that's cheap at high enough volume might be a lot better than a really expensive lead that's excellent. There's always a balance. 100% able to trace back to the Facebook ad concept tested within a dynamic creative, which ad drove the higher quality lead or the lower quality one that also matches that volume, value, and cost analysis that we've been running. And we can understand what was responsible for starting that customer journey after completing the lead funnel. This is the most effective way to determine which ads have what value in aggregate and at scale. Because remember, it's never about cost, and you can very rarely rely on only high quality leads to make sure that your call center is busy all the time. Let's debunk something. The cost per lead is only valuable if your business is built on selling leads by volume. And even then, the quality still matters a lot. The conversion rate and consistency of quality is essential to sales funnel development and optimization afterwards. Just like in a sales funnel and optimization after the click to a view content and an add to cart to a purchase, there's literally no difference between lead generation and e-commerce. Value, volume, and cost. When running Facebook campaigns to generate leads, either at the Facebook ad unit or driving users to a site, we need to understand a few very valuable metrics. Without these, we will be unable to understand the effectiveness of our efforts until the very end of the customer journey. So let's dive into what those most important metrics actually are. First, our AOV. Yeah, even in lead gen. We need to understand the monetary value of every conversion. And then we can move up and down throughout the customer journey to understand the unit value of every stage of that funnel. As long as we have a consistent volume and quality of leads, where they could also be projectable, then we have a very clearly defined monetary value of every stage of the funnel. And unlike e-commerce, this is actually incredibly predictive. Here's an example math problem if you want to understand the value, volume, and cost for monetary analysis of your lead gen funnel. How much is a sales call actually worth? Simple. AOV divided by the number of sales calls to get a sale. How much is a booked call worth? Well, sales call value divided by call attendance rate. Okay. How much is a lead worth? Easy. Total revenue divided by total leads. And you can also break this down by quality, because good leads are going to be worth more than bad leads, and excellent leads might be worth a lot more than that, but they're probably going to have a very different cost to acquire. We can also repeat this exercise by moving up the funnel that leads to a lead form. Or we can even move throughout the customer journey after key touch points. Measuring the cost and conversion rate of any customer or lead behavior traced back to the event that drove that action to begin with is a fundamental skill that you absolutely need, and is infinitely more important than what's the lowest cost leads that we can get. This is the exact same math and analysis that you can also apply to any one of your business development efforts when trying to pivot from a conversion to a sale, the acquisition of a customer. Because remember, a single purchase isn't the acquisition of a customer, just like getting a lead isn't a sale that you've made. Because all purchases are in some way or another just simply a lead and an opportunity to begin a customer relationship that ultimately matures in some LTV. And if you can understand that math, you are no longer going to ever need to worry about silly things like ROAS, because that is a nonsense metric. And instead, you can focus on PSM and ultimately much bigger problems than audiences or bidding models or any of that other stuff, because you're actually running a successful business instead of trying not to go out of business.